Alrighty, this is the presentation that I did for my professional development, and it's just titled Blended Learning. And blended learning, as I define it, is combining traditional instructor-led instruction, direct instruction, and technology-based e-learning, and what that entails, the Web 2.0 tools that we can use to help students achieve better critical thinking. Also, in reference to Flip the Classroom, this would be students watching my own videos or other videos that I post on there and having them go reference that and look at that stuff on their own. Again, having students take control of part of the learning process. And so that's kind of what blended learning is. You hear it in different contexts of what blended learning is. Flip the classroom, that's just another version of blended learning. Depends upon to what degree you want to go there. So that's what that term is. Here's an example
just reviewing real quick with you guys.
of a video that I've done. My students, again, this was a review for my students that they could watch in preparation for our first exam. I'll be quiet, and there it is.
And we talked about in class before we even started this. We looked at the definition of government, involving institutions and decisions.
Anyway, so then I wanted to talk about various items of screenshots. I'm actually using right now QuickTime, and then there's also Jing. There's Camtasia, I think I'm pronouncing that right, that Mr. McGuire and I were talking about. It's mentioned in the book, Flip the Classroom. It's also mentioned in various Web 2.0 reference materials. So the first one is Jing. That's what I also use, and this is me talking about it.
For me, posting videos to YouTube is the software Jing, and I just got the basic one. There is a free download. You can't put it to your YouTube. I paid for the upgrade. Like it says here, you can take screenshots, capture an image, see what the computer screen is doing. I am actually using Jing to do this. Record screenshots of 5 minutes on-screen video, and it's collaborative with these two different
anyway, so you get the idea there.
As well. Just some other examples of how it can work for you within education. Give your students information.
QuickTime is what I'm using now. It comes standard with Mac. I'm not sure about PC and what that entails there. Again, here's QuickTime. Cam Studio is another one that's free that some students in my cohort in the educational technology class referenced to me. I used it, didn't like it as much as Jing. Now here's some lesson plans, or a lesson plan incorporating the technology. I use Prezi, CMAP tools, concept maps. It's another thing I'm going to talk about. And the things that we have, Blackboard, I use a discussion board there. The project was the students have to present this to me, to the class, and then if you look down below, they have to use certain things. They have to use Prezi, they have to create a CMAP, and they have to have and participate in the discussion board thread on Blackboard. Students are familiar with that. It could be much like texting, Facebooking, tweeting, whatever it is that they do. So here's an example of a concept map that I did for my first unit. I have a video of it too where I explain each different part. This is using CMAP tools, and this is where you can go for CMAP tools. It's free to download for Mac and PC. This is another example of a better version of a concept map. It's not as in-depth. A student did this one about sole proprietorship of business, the advantages, disadvantages, and things of this nature. Here's another one. They edited the background. Again, a student did this one about perfect competition. Obviously, you can see that using CMAP tools. Here's other software. This one is Inspiration 9, which it was good. I've used it because it was for the free 30-day trial. I just felt like they already had pre-made concept maps. Other teachers might like it. It costs some money for the licensing fees. Another one was Smart Draw. Again, same kind of concept as Inspiration 9. But these are just some tools out there to help people with concept maps and understand what they are. I also offered some academic articles about the relevance of concept maps, how to use concept maps in the classroom for anybody that was interested. And this is Prezi, and we're all familiar with this. Per our conversation this morning, Prezi is obviously one of the ways you can online collaborate. You got Google Docs, you got Google's doing a lot of different things in that area, and there's other ones out there. But Prezi is an easy one to where people can meet online or just edit things online and do things in relation to a project that they got to present, especially students. I created a Prezi for the class, for the PowerPoint, for this presentation. Here it is.
All right, here's a copy.
So I created a video. I'll let the video talk for a moment.
Presentation I did related to new technology and professional development. I'm going to show you just the Prezi that I made real quick. And we'll first start off with just one of the generic backgrounds of Prezi, and titled The Road Ahead. And I just went through and showed everybody step 1, how to use the Prezi. Step 2, inserting a photo, and I just have some basic photos on here and how easy it was. And then step 3, inserting a video.
Man.
This is an example of a video that I created for my economics class.
Man, we talked about this today.
A video I got off YouTube, and another famous video I got off YouTube. I then went and talked about inserting a PowerPoint. You got a little cut off there, and I apologize. And
I think you get the idea. You're familiar with this. Is student work on what they did with the Prezi and how they used it. They inserted the concept map. Again, that same project that was earlier referenced. Here's another example of student work. This one goes kind of fast, so I don't want to make you sick. This is a different example of what the students can do using Prezi. And to be honest with you, I do not, in reference to Prezi, I do not walk them through how to do it. I tell them, here it is. There's tutorial videos on there. You guys can do this on your own. If you have questions about certain things, I try to help them to the best of my ability. But I want them to kind of learn on their own, and they do better than I ever expected. And now, the tools that we do have, Blackboard, and there's also WebCT and other things, but Blackboard, the discussion board, what they're going to do in college is they're going to have to go on there and do a learning module or something to that degree. And in that learning module, they're going to have what's called social presence or net etiquette. And I talked to the students about having social presence and net etiquette and what to do. So first off, this was an example of what net etiquette is and what the students should do and how to be this from an academic journal. Here's the learning module I talked about earlier. There's the assignment at the top part. There's some websites that they got to go to, and they got to complete or look at 1 through 5, and then they post it, and they create their own thread and where they'll post as a class or as a group. And so this is an example of my master's class, what we do. So there's a direct correlation between what is happening in school, in colleges now, and in high school, and I kind of wanted to bring that with and use that. With EdVoice I have the example that I have, again, I talked about this morning, just going on, and I have my students do it. It combines a lot of the tools of Web 2.0. However, it's again one of those that I think needs to be refined a little bit, but it's out there. It's a good resource. Here are some other materials that I have that I gave the people at the presentation about a level of technology instruction, looking at your own classroom, assessing how well you use technology, not just, again, turning on the VCR and the PowerPoint projector, but how do you infuse technology into the classroom. And that was the presentation. They also got right here the Web 2.0 tools. I talk about screenshots. I kind of explain to them some things that they can look at. I give them places to go. Talk about sharing videos, how you can do that. YouTube, that's what I use. Screencast, I've also used it. Concept maps, give some examples of those. We talked about them in the presentation, where to go find it. Prezi, the presentation tools, Google Docs, the EdVoice thread, and there's examples there. Then I talk about Dropbox and Animoto, which is not free. We had to use it. It's kind of like iMovie Maker for like Apple. EduBlog, place you can go create blogs. You can also do like Google. That's where my blog is. And just some other things on PBWorks, an online collaboration tool. Google Scholar. This is great for finding academic journals, or if you want your students to kind of read some stuff, or even for yourself. GoToMeeting, people are kind of familiar with this. And then there's some other list of Web 2.0 sources. I'll include this in the email that I'm going to send you with all this. And this technology, pedagogical, easy for me to say, content knowledge. Here is where I gave this I gave this out into where you can go right here. It's gonna probably go through the presentation. I have a copy of what this is. I'll include this in your email. But what this gentleman has to say about it, very interesting, about talking about the web and things of that nature, and what TPAC is. And then some various iPad applications, Notarize, DocuScan, and so these are just some things that I've used in the past for my presentations and my Web 2.0 tools. Here is what I wanted to talk to you about. I got a couple other things that didn't make it on there. I'm not sure why, but they had to do with the discussion board and with my students. I had a bunch of discussion board things that they did that I was pretty excited about, that I wanted to kind of go over with you. I apologize for my clumsiness here. I don't want to waste your time. That's not it. That's the movie. There's another movie that I did. So just you can see that these are out there that I've created. I'll just go right here to this is Jing, right here in the corner, what you're seeing. So I'm going to go to my folder here. And in here, these are all the things that I've created with Jing and used. Here's some examples again of some things that I had in there. And one of them, there's a video that I created with me presenting to the class again about a lecture. And here's a discussion board that my students did. This is what they created. I went on there and comment, and they had questions, so I can answer that for them. And some other ones, another one right here. Again, this is where I put them, where they can go and discuss. And then some of my students, again, they really seem to get into what they were talking about. This group had like 76 posts on the discussion board on the Blackboard. And so it worked out really well for them. They seem to like that and being able to discuss with each other on there. And again, I was really pleased with what they've done. So again, there's just another example of somebody actually talking about what they've done in the group and encouraging each other. This is on the discussion board. I have an email that a student sent me that, in reference to what we talked about this morning, I won't bore you with me trying to find it, but it's on here. But anyway, you get an idea of that presentation. I'll include the other stuff in there with the email that I will send you. Thank you, and I hope this helped. If you have any questions, feel free to email me and talk to me. I know this is kind of long. I apologize for that.